Good morning, grade 4 teachers in Elanco. At the request of two of your colleagues from New Holland, I began working on a Google form that students could use interactively to practice questions that may appear on the math PSSA. And using questions from the sampler that's provided by the state, so that's the document I used. I went through and pulled different questions from it. I built a Google form. This is what the form itself looks like. If those of you that haven't been into forms lately may not know a whole lot about it, but basically you can build question by question, and you can also set up different pages that will navigate students through the activity. And I wanted it to be a little bit more interactive in terms of student use. I didn't want it to be just question and answer, question and answer. So for some of the questions, I set up conditional pathways where if the student gets the correct answer, it moves them on to the next question. But if they answered incorrectly, it moves them to a page that has tutorial videos that I pulled from different math sites found through YouTube that reinforce the skill of the addressed in the question that they had incorrect. Then they will get a second chance to try that question. So what I want to show you is a little bit about this form and how the responses are then recorded in a Google spreadsheet, and then I want to take a look at the live form with you, and I hope that you'll let your students give it a try. I've actually created 3 different samplers. This is the first one that I think is finished. So this is section 1. When I share this document with you, it will show up in your Google Drive under Shared with Me. And what I really want you to do is, before you do anything to it, please go to File, Make a Copy, and give it a unique name for you. And the reason I want you to do that, and then click OK, the reason I want you to do that is because that's the form I want you to share with your students, so that only your students' responses are saved in your spreadsheet. And so you will not have a spreadsheet filled with all of the 4th graders' responses from across the district. So it's really important that you do File, Make a Copy, and then work from your copy with your name on it before distributing it to students. So this is what it looks like live, and when you're in this form, in order to see it, click View Live Form. And it's very simple template, gives some directions to students, and if you want to tweak any of the words or anything, feel free to do so. If you feel there are any questions that are not applicable or inappropriate for your class, you can always delete them. I will say just a word of caution, because this is a conditional form and there's a lot of different pathways that I've set up. The more you start deleting and tweaking, the more things may go wrong. And if you have a really good sense of Google Forms, then by all means go ahead and edit it however you want. If there's something that you'd like me to remove from your form and then get back to you, I'm happy to do that too. And editing these is as easy as clicking on the trash can to take a question away. So again, feel free to edit your copy of your form however you'd like to. So basically, students will read the question, select the answer, and then click Continue. So in this case, this is the incorrect answer. So when I click Continue, I'm then taken to the division review page where there's some short clips featuring the steps to long division that students can then watch. And then they have a try again opportunity to answer correctly. And in that second attempt, right or wrong, they're going to be moved on to the next question as they click Continue. So then it says question 2. So each page has the question number at the top and then the question, and then moving on. So like I said, not every question has a tutorial video attached, but if it does, they will see that if they get an incorrect answer. Some of the questions also have diagrams that I pulled right from the PSSA sampler, so they'll need to use the images that are there. I'm just going to click through these. And for some of the questions, students will be asked to show or explain their work, because we know that that's an important element that they're going to have to do this year on the PSSA and that they've always had to do. So it might be a little bit tricky for them to get used to it electronically, which is why this is a good practice. So let me get to one of those questions so you can see what that looks like. Just skipping through here. Okay, so for instance, question 10, students will read the question, they will answer the question, and then they will show or explain how they solved the problem. So however you're teaching them to use their words, use their mathematical characters that they'll need, and that is a required question. You can see with the red asterisk, so then they will need to write something in there before they can move on. So that's how it looks, and there are 14 questions for section 1. Students won't be able to go back to it once they start it. So I would recommend making sure that you give them enough time to work through 14 questions. This isn't a 5-minute or 10-minute activity, but certainly in a 20-minute block, they should be able to go through that. So that is one of the trickier things about the way this is built. But I wanted to share it with you and give it a try. When you are then in your drive, you will see the copy of your sampler, whatever you named it, and then you'll see the word responses behind it for the spreadsheet of answers. And if you don't see that, you're going to need to go here in your form file, and there will be a button here that says create a spreadsheet of responses or something like that. You're going to need to click on that if you don't see that right away. And again, the form will just be the title of the form, and it will say responses behind the spreadsheet. So when you click on that, this is where you will see student answers. And it will automatically record students' usernames when they're signed into Google Apps, and they will have to be signed in or they won't be able to access the form. And then I went through on mine and I just took the quiz correctly and I did the correct the answers there. So I'll actually send you that sampler as well if you don't already have it. And then you can kind of see students' answers at a glance and make it easy grading. There are ways to auto-grade this using a script called Flubberoo. And again, that's a little more user-intensive, but I'm happy to meet with you one-on-one and help you learn how to do that. You can also set up conditional formatting where you can set the cells to show a certain color, red or green, depending if the answer is right or wrong, so that at a quick glance you can see how students did. So those are some of the features that Google Drive offers in Forms, and I wanted to introduce that to you. And so I thank the New Holland folks who asked me to get to work on that because it was a fun challenge for me. So to share this with students, again, you're not going to share this document with them. This is the form that you will use. It contains all the questions. You will want to share with them the link out to this portion. So there's a couple ways to do that. Again, you can click on View Live Form. You can copy and paste the URL from here, and you can share it with students through a link that you put on your teacher website or your teacher blog or teacher wiki, however you communicate links to them. Okay, that's the best way, and then it should require them to be signed in to be able to access. Please let me know if you have any questions. I'm going to send this out to you right now, and good luck and have fun, and I hope it works for you. And I love your feedback as I finish up sections 2 and 3 so that I can make it be helpful for you. Thanks. Enjoy.